So today I'm excited to welcome Scott Reese and Ash from Death of the High Street to chat about their musical career. Welcome to Totally Music. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Scott from Death of the High Street.
I am Reese from Death of the High Street.
And I am Ash from Death of the High Street.
And there is Joe and Andy somewhere out there in the wide world as well.
Should we say what we actually do in the band as well?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm frontman, singer, lyricist, sometimes guitarist.
I am lead and rhythm guitarist and backing vocalist.
And I am the bass player. I've tried to be the bass player.
Yeah.
Great to have you on. So how did you come up with the name Death of the High Street?
So a couple of years ago, we actually got signed by Alan McGee of like Oasis fame and Libertines fame, what have you. And he didn't like the name that we had before, which it was a bit too. Well, we were called the Small Town Boys, and it was a bit too small town for his grandiose idea. So he was like, "I recommend you think of some different names," and we went through all sorts, didn't we? And the top two were Gutter Club and Death of the High Street. And I think Death of the High Street, everything that sort of that draws in people's minds, the images it draws in, was everything we were about, the songs we were about, the kind of town that we're all from and lived in at the time, sort of thing. It was very relevant. So yeah, we went with it. Death of the High Street, never look back.
No, shorten it to Doffs every now and again.
Yeah,
We can't bother to type it out.
we can't change it now as well because we've got tattoos. So.
Yeah, that's it.
So how would you describe the music you create?
This is
Varied.
I think we're a rock band. Ultimately, we're a rock band.
That's at the core, isn't it?
Yeah,
rock band.
With I don't know. I suppose in the past we've said we're an alternative band, but then when you look at all the genres now and the different subgenres and things like that, I'm not quite sure where we fit in like the complicated web of music. But we're a rock band. Yeah, we're a rock band straight down the middle. There's punk influence. There's definitely rock influence. Not really metal.
There's a bit of pop in there.
Bit of pop, bit of funk, bit of spoken word, that kind of hip hoppy vibe in some of it as well. I'd say
basically we've all got massive difference in influences, so we just all try and cram it together and see what comes out.
Yeah.
So what's your favourite song you've written and why?
What's my favourite song I've written and why? Out of the Doth stuff, though, if you went on Spotify and the stuff that's on there, I'd probably say my favourite has always been Drink Driver, I think, to be honest, because I think the song's good. I think it was at that point when we were recording songs, we were actually recording an album at the time, which never got released, but it was fun, it was exciting, it all felt quite serious, like we were really doing it kind of thing. And then we recorded a video for it as well, which you can see on YouTube as well, and that was really fun to do as well. Just me rocking around the town in a little toy car dressed as a clown and stuff, and it was good fun. But I like playing that song live. I like performing it live. Yeah.
I think for me, it's definitely Age of Bronze, because it was the first one where we'd had it for years. We recorded it as part of that first album, didn't we? And then we didn't do anything with it for probably 2-3 years. Mm. And we went back to it and added in some additional parts like strings parts and bits like that, and it just ended up sounding really big. And I was like, that's kind of the sound I really like. So a few of the new tracks on the album have gone a bit that way. Mm. And they're kind of my favourite. So yeah, Age of Bronze for sure.
For me, it's Take It to the Streets, which has an abbreviation in its other right. Just because of the riff, I love playing the riff. These guys had already got it written before I sort of joined. But it's just it's a great riff, really fun to play live. And
just a nice bit of funkiness to it.
Yeah.
Nice. So your music's filled with powerful social commentary. Why is that important to you?
It's just always been something that was important to me. I think looking at things from different perspectives and understanding how society works and things like that was always a passion of mine, and it kind of always informed my singer-songwriting stuff years and years ago. And then when I met Ash, that was the kind of thing that connected us. We were both really interested and bothered about the state of politics, the state of the local councils, the state of the local town, and bigger ideas, bigger philosophical ideas as well. But that became the kind of glue that got the band together and started. So it's just kind of where we went from there. And I can only really write either breakup songs or angry rants about the state of the world. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's always just been the focus. It's
not a conscious effort, is it? It's not like we sit down and go, what topic can we rant about today? It's just how we are and what we feel about the society that we live in.
I think as well, two of my biggest influences growing up and still were Bob Dylan and hip hop. And I feel like Bob Dylan was writing a version of hip hop, obviously before hip hop was a thing, and it's just about, it's rants, isn't it? It's rants about what you see in front of you, and you're just talking about your daily experiences and stuff. And I think that clearly influenced my songwriting. So yeah, that's just the direction it took.
Nice. So who would you most like to collaborate with?
I think, because I know it would make Ash happy, and I'd really enjoy it. The Streets would be good.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing. That would be like my. I was trying to think about this earlier, and I didn't think of the Streets, but that is number one for me for sure.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
And I'd really love to do so the spoken word thing. I started enjoying when I found Scroobius Pip, and I know he doesn't really make music anymore, but that would be pretty cool as well.
You're gonna go for some blues musician, aren't you?
I'm not. Do you know what? I've been listening to loads of Fontaines at the minute, Fontaines DC. So they'd be a group that I would want to collaborate with at the minute, but it would change depending on who I was listening to. So
if you want to tap up Fontaines for us, then go for
it. So what's been your favourite gig to date and why?
We were talking about this earlier, and this is probably the question I was going to struggle with the most, because I always have my eyes closed at gigs, and I kind of just go into a zone where it's something that has to come out of me, and I'm not really bothered whether there's anybody there, whether we're in time, whether it's in tune. I'm just kind of going for it. But I think collectively we played a gig the other year at Why Not, which was really good. We enjoyed it. It was our first sort of biggish festival kind of gig. Smallish tent, biggish festival. It was a great experience. And what about you, Reece, when you've been playing with us? What's yours?
I mean, for me, it's the Party in the Park that we did in 2019. I think it was just before COVID, just playing in front of basically the whole town.
Yeah, there was a lot of people there.
There's loads of people there, huge stage, and it was just a really good gig.
I think we've got to shout out Chameleon as well in Nos. The gigs that we played at the Chameleon, because it's such a good venue, isn't it? And it's, for up and coming bands, it's one of those spaces that are hard to find, and that they just let you do your thing and organise your own event. And gigs at the Chameleon were really good. Unfortunately, it's not open anymore, but they were really good.
Cool. So if you could perform anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Overton Town Football Club.
Overton Town Football Club.
Back it out.
CBGB's in New York back in the day would be a pretty cool place to have played. I think anywhere. Anywhere around the
We've
world.
literally played anywhere, and we will play anywhere.
Any venue that will have us.
Yeah.
The Moon, that'd be great. That'd be cool.
First gig on the Moon.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
So let's think small. Start with the Moon.
I like it. So how do you feel the internet has impacted the music business?
Well, it is the music business, isn't it now? It'd be easy to deride it and say it's ruined it. There'd be justifications to kind of say that, but obviously the internet's not going anywhere, and it's all encompassing. So you have to embrace it. But I think it's cheapened. It's not cheapened. It's everybody's efforts kind of get dashed on the wayside now. Really, you can end up with a reasonable amount of streams and think, oh, that looks great, but there's no revenue in it. Obviously, unless you're getting big deals. And I think it's time consuming, isn't it, to be an adult, to pursue being in a band or some kind of creative outlet, but also work full time and live an adult life. It's incredibly difficult to devote time to your social media presence and, you know, how you're getting stuff out there and what have you. So it's certainly changed everything, hasn't it? It's been an absolute game changer, and in some ways it's made it difficult. But for those young people starting bands now, it's never been any different, has it? Yeah, and they're obviously really clued up with how you create a presence and how you draw people in and likes and all subscriptions and all that.
Yeah, for us old fogies, it's a real chore, isn't it? Like, you know, to sit down and think, right, I need to do 3 posts this week. Well, what we're going to say? Went to Tesco's, did my shopping.
Yeah. Less of the old in my case.
Yeah, well, yeah. Reese brings the average age down a lot. Basically, why he's in the band.
Yeah, but saying that as well, I guess we're the beneficiaries of you know, things like Spotify. I've had since it first came out in 2008, 2009, whenever it was, something like that. So I currently still have access to all that music that I was listening to then and through the time. And I never really I collected CDs, but then that went out of fashion. I never really was a record person. So I was I was sold on the idea of something like Spotify, and I still use it on a daily basis. I create a new playlist every year, so I can go back to 2002 and see what I was, 2022 and see what I was listening to or inspiring then. So there's lots of good in the platforms and lots of good that can be done, but yeah, it's changed.
I think you've got to be careful as being in a band or an artist or something, that you don't make the social media and the internet your main focus. Like, ultimately, everybody's focus should still be on the music they're creating.
Yeah.
So secondary to that, can you make a good 15-second TikTok clip that's going to get loads of likes?
Yeah.
Your music's there, people will still find it. Like, we're not massive on social media, are we? But we still get a lot of streams and likes and people coming to the gigs because they like the music that we make. So I think your main focus has got to be the music first, and then move out to the socials and the internet.
So finally, what's next for you?
So we've been in the studio the last few months. We're starting to put an album together, which the plan will be towards the end of summer or during the summer next year. The album will be out, and like I say, we did record one a few years ago, and for a few different reasons, it never ended up being released. So it's a bit of a baby project for us, isn't it? Like we're quite determined to get one recorded and released. So yeah, we've got 5 songs recorded, I think, that are definites for it. We've got a couple more that we're going into recording this next month or 2, and then we're off to practice after this to go and carry on putting some other new material together and then start piecing it all together. So it's a cool project because it's not just the music, is it? It's the social side of it. It's planning the images that go along with it all, and titles and song tracks and where we're going to try and promote it to and whatever. So yeah, that's the main thing. And then we've had a bit of a year where we've not pursued many gigs, or we've not had enough free time to pursue many gigs and stuff. So I think hopefully next year we can sort of get back on track with that and plot out through the year, ready for this album coming out. It's getting some more and more gigs. But yeah, that's the next thing for us, really.
I mean, coming up soonest is the release of the next single, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So probably the last Friday of January, maybe, we'll have a new track coming out that's not new to us, and it's one that won't go on the album, but we wanted to record and release it before the album. Nice. I mean, we've probably had that song about 8 years.
Easy, yeah.
I think, yeah. But we've never managed to capture the recording of it that we wanted. Yep. But we managed to do it this time in the studio, so that'll be coming out, the last week of January. Yeah, hopefully.
Looking forward to hearing it.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to people hearing it. Hopefully, everybody enjoys it.
Jolly will. So a massive thank you, Death of the High Street, for joining me on Totally Music. If anyone would like to check out the music, I'll leave all the links in the description below for you. But thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Cheers.